My name is Burgess. I'm from the USA. I studied graphic design in university and Spanish. I was in the Navy for 8 years after that, basically as a manager. And I graduated from IED Design Management program in December of 2014. So I'm working here at Health Mavericks. Health Mavericks is a healthcare innovation company. And we're a pretty small team, but from time to time, depending on the project, we'll bring in doctors or behavioral scientists or whoever to help us on the particular projects that we're on. So my role here is a design researcher, service designer. Depending on the project, as you see, we're not a big team. There's really lots of moving around based on the type of project and the stage that we are in that project. So one day it's leading a co-creation session, another day it's doing interviews, another day it's doing A/B testing on web copy. So really a lot of variety in the type of role. It's a loose structure in that project management flow, but that does give us a lot of opportunity to use the time that we have and to take new opportunities when they come up, because we're not tied to this rigid structure. At its core, it's all human-centered design. So really a lot of design thinking. Both of the projects that we're doing right now, we're really in empathy stage of the design thinking methodology. Really understanding the problem, really understanding the people who are involved in that problem. I love working in small teams like this because it really does give each individual the opportunity to do something that matters. I make a decision on Monday and we're seeing results on that on Tuesday. And each contribution of each person, really immediately you can see whether it's working or not working, and then if it needs to be changed, it can be changed right away. This is the project we're working with caregivers of people with Alzheimer's. And the way this project started was we first started looking at all caregivers. And within that very large group, what we found was that the people who suffered the most were the people who had, where the patients had Alzheimer's or dementia. And then within that group, we continued to study those types of users, and the type of people that we found were the informal caregivers who is caring for a person with Alzheimer's. Those people really have a very difficult time and they suffer a lot. And as we started looking into that even further, we started to identify even different types of personality that those caregivers might have. So what you see here is 3 different empathy maps of 3 different type of caregiver. Is the type of person, and then what do they think and feel, what do they see, what do they say and do, what do they hear, and their pains and gains. And the exercise in doing this is really to understand how they are different. So we haven't gotten to a point where we're designing a solution yet, but when we do get to that point, it's important to understand, okay, this type of solution addresses a need that this type of persona has. So it's an important exercise to really get down to a very, very specific level of detail. Okay, so the second project that we're working on is a program to help people quit smoking. And most of those programs that are out there in the world, really, I think 90% of them fail. And the reason that they fail is because they don't change the type of behavior that people have. They just try to replace the addiction with a different type of addiction. So what we're working on in the program to quit smoking is helping people take something that they already want to do and replace that habit, that moment that they go to smoke. Like, okay, instead of having that cigarette, do something else and replace that behavior with something instead of just letting that craving fester. We've really already identified the need and the methodology that we're using. And what we're doing now is testing some of those ideas with the client base that we're expecting, which is in the UK. So we're doing a lot of testing in terms of advertising, different types of Google and Facebook ads to understand what things people have an affinity to, what things motivate them when they want to make this decision to quit smoking. I think what I really gained from being at IED was this understanding of user-centered, human-centered design. Like for me is like the core of what I learned and the core of what I use really on a daily basis here. any type of being a manager, you have to make decisions about where to go and what to do. And within that type of methodology of always being user-centered and human-centered, a lot of those questions are answered in that. So what should I do next? Like, it's not just an idea that you come up with, like, I'm the manager, this is where we're going, which, to be fair, was what I did before. It's really understanding, okay, well, who are we designing this for, and what do they need? And those are the needs that we need to inform the types of decisions that we make. And we do it here every day. Okay, well, which of these is working? Well, I think I have my own opinion, but really what is the data telling us? What are the users telling us? And using that as kind of a guiding principle for moving forward in day-to-day decisions, but also in long-term, more strategic decisions as well.